Alright, so we're going to talk about solving by factoring. If you don't have a piece of paper out, go ahead and pause the video and get yourself a piece of paper out and something to write with. Alright, so when we're solving by factoring, your equation should already be factored at this point. So for example, I should have x plus 4, x plus 5 equals 0. That right there is what it's going to look like if you are ready to start solving. If you have both factors and this is equal to 0, then you can go ahead and separate those two factors. What I mean by separate is you're going to put x plus 4 equals 0 and x plus 5 equals 0. If you need to, pause the video so you can write this down. Now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to solve both of these for x. So, we're going back to beginning of the year solving. How would I solve this for x? I'm trying to get x alone. So, in order to get x alone, I need to move the 4 over to this side. The only way I can do that is by doing the opposite sign. So let's minus 4, minus 4. Those cancel out, and I get x equals negative 4. Now, I have to also do it for this one. Minus 5, minus 5, x, the 5's cancel, equals 0 minus 5, which is negative 5. And both of those are my answers. And at this point, I am done. Now, that's just one example. Go ahead, pause the video if you need to finish writing this down. Let's try another example. This time, let's have 2x plus 1 and x minus 1 equals 0. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the same thing. We look at what we have so far. We are in factored form because we have two factors in parentheses. We are equal to 0. Since that's the case, we can go ahead and separate our two factors. 2x plus 1 equals 0. X minus 1 equals 0. Pause the video if you need to take a minute to write this down. Now start solving both of these for x. Let's start on the left-hand side. So I got 2x plus 1 equals 0. In order to solve for x, I need to take what's added and move it over to the right-hand side by doing the opposite, which is subtraction. 2x equals, those 1's canceled out, 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Now, this time, I don't have a 1x here, so that means I need to get rid of this 2. In other words, move it to the other side. Only way I can move this 2 to the other side is by dividing, because this is 2 times x. The opposite is division. So divide by 2. I get x equals negative 1/2. And that's my answer. But I'm not done because I did have another factor. So let's move on to the next one. This one I have x minus 1 equals 0. Let's go ahead and add 1 to both sides. My 1's there cancel. I get x equals 0 plus 1, which is 1. And those are my answers.